Что?
Пацаны, встаньте. Да, все нормально. Встаньте, короче, трое Б, двое. Я встану с Максом А, который желтый. Да. Желтый Макс, да? Встаньте трое Б, встаньте, пожалуйста. Подходите на. Я же сказал, пацаны, трое Б. Все, отлично, это Б. Пачка Б. Пачка Б. Все, похуй. Классно, убей, Макс. Значит, убей. Трое Б, встаньте, трое Б. Бля, попросил же, пацаны, трое Б, бля. Пиздец. Пацаны, попросил трое Б, блядь, трое Б. Почему один нахуй стоял? Трое Б, пацаны. Трое человек Б, встаньте Б, втроем. Мы с желтым пойдем на А. Вы втроем встаньте Б. Только Б, мид нахуй не ходите. Спасибо. Засядь вот здесь за колонну, засядь за колонну. Все, сиди. Зеленый, зачем ты сюда пришел? Ёбаный в рот. Это Б. Б, планчик. Пиздец. Почему зеленый такой тормозный? Макс, стань тоже туда Б. Просто он тормозит нахуй. Идите все тогда Б, я встану А1.
Let's have it, lads. Throwing fire.
Б. Это... пацаны, втроем. Вот вы втроем Б станьте, мы за желтым станем А. Втроем.
Move it, move it.
Давай, все, давай. Станешь за колонну, успеешь? Всё, заебись. Нет, прям за колонну станешь, за колонну шутить.
Smoke.
Жди. Я скажу. Все, жди. Все, А. Ой, Б. Что, сука, блядь, не попадает? Я, сука, слушка. Все, давай я встану. Встаньте еще на двое А. Ой, двое Б. Пацаны, встаньте еще один хотя бы с Б, пожалуйста.
Laying down smoke.
Да сука, на Б. Пиздец, блядь. Кто-нибудь русский вообще хоть? Скажите мне, пожалуйста.
Let's go, fellas. Decoys out. What on? Move it, son.
еще на меня.
Throwing smoke. Go, go, go. Laying down smoke. Smoke. Throwing
Бля,
flashbang.
вода.
Let's move out. Throwing smoke. Grenade out. Incendiary out. Deploying decoy.
The problem isn't people being mean or nasty. If people want to be mean or nasty, then fucking go for it. Who cares? Ethan's a big boy. He's been on there for a long time. I'm a big boy. I've been on there for a long time. The problem is that they never, ever, ever deal with any of the actual criticisms, none of the substance of anything. If you want to say like Destiny missed the entire first Intifada and doesn't understand the context of the second Lebanese civil war, blah blah, and that's why he's a fucking retard, like piece of shit. Okay, fine, that's great, that's fine. I don't care. Call me names, but at least there's like something of substance here as part of your criticism. But when it's just like, I don't think he's mentally okay. I think he's having a severe mental health crisis, crash out. Like he needs to get help. That's not just being nasty. Like. And it's the same thing that people used to say when it came to girls and black people in video games when it was 2016 time. And they were like, why do black people care if you call them the N-word? Or why do women care if you're sexist? White people get insulted all the time. Yeah, but it's not the same kind of insult. And you know that. You know that you're being a retard when you're making this argument. But they've transplanted that argument one-to-one onto here, and they think it works.
Towards Ethan and Hila on Twitter. But Ethan and Hila are doing the same shit on their podcast. So I don't want to fucking hear it.
Terrorist supporter.
The CEO of Twitch.
Pedophile.
Now I'm going to watch.
Except, and it's not the same thing though. One, Hassan is a terrorist supporter. Verbatim, he's literally said it. Maybe iDubbbz has lost the ability to critically analyze any content, but Hassan wouldn't even disagree with that. When you say, do you support terrorists? He'll say, well, wasn't Nelson Mandela a terrorist? Implying that it's okay to support some terrorists. He's verbatim said this on multiple streams. He said he supports Hezbollah. He says that he was sad that Nasrallah died. Like, he said this verbatim. You don't have to guess. This isn't even a smear. This isn't even slander. It's literally what he's explicitly said. And even if Ethan has made fun of other people or called him a pedophile or whatever, and you can argue that's mean or not mean, it's always paired with, here's some substantive criticism. This is why I don't like what this person has said. Here's where they're wrong about me, or here's where they mischaracterized me, and then, you know, call them names or whatever afterwards. Which, again, I'm sure Ethan would be fine with that. I'm fine with that. I think most people on the internet are, to some extent, fine with that.
And respond to the 2 podcast streams where Ethan and Hila call us spineless cowards.
Anyway, this guy was saying shit like that Hila's a Nazi, that she kills kids, that she went on like, she's a IDS baby killer, all this types of shit. And that's showing up right up on us Nisa's and iDubbbz's feed. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered.
Yep.
You don't know what's on my feed. What the fuck is happening?
This is it too. Also, this is the crazy making, right? Well, I've never seen this before. I have no idea. I don't even know. Even though,
you know,
just earlier, iDubbbz was literally saying, "Oh yeah, I saw them fighting on Twitter. Oh yeah, I saw some of those tweets that he was copy pasting from that Froggy, whatever the fresh. I don't know what the fuck that guy's name. Had like 7 likes. You're telling me you're seeing stuff like that, but you had no clue? They always do this. Oh, I didn't see any of that. I have no idea. I don't know what you're talking about." Froggy
you don't
tonic.
know what's on my feed. What the f is happening? For all you know, I only use the For You tab. For all you know, I only use lists. For all you know, I'm seeing these things tweeted out by my editor of 1.5 years ago and saying, God, that is nasty. I'm just not gonna throw someone away because they're having a parasocial weird moment. Just like I'm not gonna throw Ethan Klein away because he's having a parasocial weird crash out.
He's not gonna throw him away. Maybe this content cop will end up being really nice about him in the end though. What does he mean by throw away? Because I feel like doing a fucking hit piece takedown video on somebody is kind of like that, but okay.
Hassan, by the way, thousands. Yeah, thousands. Let me ask Galia. These shoes do not go. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Hassan's the type of dude who watches himself in the mirror when he has sex.
Watching me on a 30-second delay on your stream.
Wait, wait, how does he know I'm watching already?
Because you've been talking about it for the last 5 minutes.
It's not a fucking petty beef. It's like, this guy is evil and he's doing anti-Semitism. These shoes do not go. I'm sorry.
There are many people, I'm sure, who have unfollowed you for the things that you've said and done, and I'm sure there are even more people who have stayed following you because they don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. They don't want to throw someone away because they've had some hard moments. We're all fucking human.
My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered.
And what you're saying to me is that I'm a bad friend and I'm a piece of shit. I'm spineless, I'm cowardly because I am following someone on Twitter.
Because they have mobilized.
And it's not, remember again, the standard, right? Like, oh, you're just mad because I'm following somebody who continues to engage in, oh, you're just mad. But when it's the other side, right, they're like, I need a full disavowal of every single thing, right? To do it for, I guess, to make it about myself, because I love doing that, right? If, in this perspective here, people are criticizing Ethan because he expects somebody publicly to defend him or say anything, you know, condemning some of the behavior, but, you know, it's like, well, why would you expect somebody to say that? Meanwhile, when my drama slop lawsuit shit has dropped, people are going to my girlfriend. People are going to every single person in my personal life saying, like, people who aren't even public figures, right? You need to do a full disavowal of you need to make public statements about how much you disavow, even if people that aren't even really public figures. So again, they'll say these things like, well, what do you expect people to do? Maybe they're just watching, they don't want to say anything. But if it was about like anti-Palestinian stuff, they'd be like, why haven't you made a public statement about this? Why haven't you publicly declared support for or said this particular thing? It's never, ever, ever the same standards. It's never the same standards on both sides.
Such an insane...
Yeah, remember their number one fucking calling card for shit like this. There's no such thing as a table with nine ordinary people and one Nazi. That's a table with 10 Nazis. That's what they say. These are their slogans, right?
Following someone on Twitter.
Because they have mobilized such...
Well, remember, I'm sorry, there's just so many examples of them doing this. Following someone on Twitter is a bit... Remember when PewDiePie gave a shout out to like fucking 100 YouTubers or some bullshit at the end of some video, and people went into one of the guys and found that he probably posted like Nazi propaganda slap dog whistle shit, and that was enough to call PewDiePie like a full-blown fucking Nazi? There was like this whole two-year period on the internet where PewDiePie was considered a full-on fucking Nazi because of this.
I am following someone on Twitter.
Because they have mobilized such an insane harassment group. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people harassing me and everyone in my life. It's that people outside of this group, journalists, creators, are actively participating in this gaslighting to make it seem like I'm fucking crazy.
I mean, I don't know what he's getting at here. Like, yeah, people are gaslighting you. A lot of people gaslit me when I apologized. That was actually like the #1 type of harassment I got, was people gaslighting me and taking my newfound woke ideology to its extreme.
I probably done and stood by iDubbbz and Anissa more than anybody. I've stood by them when all the...
And it sucks too, and this is a hard thing as well. Now iDubbbz is doing it right now to Ethan, right? Is you can't point out the things that you do for anybody because people will just like say, oh, what? You want to be you think you're an angel? Or, oh, so just because you were nice to them, that means you can treat them like shit? Is that what you're saying? That because you're nice to somebody one time, now you get to treat them like a whore? Like, no, what the fuck? Are you serious?
The internet hated them.
I don't like that Ethan brought this up because it makes the relationship feel very transactional.
See, there it is. You can't, I've thought about this exactly because there were some things that I wanted to say. I was like, I can't even say this on screen. I can't even talk about how many careers I've built from all of these other people, or how many times I've like looked the other way on certain things, or how many times in the middle of the night in my trip to Amsterdam, coming onto Discord because I saw that Prime Kai's was getting like bullshit ass canceled for some accusation that wasn't remotely true, with nothing to gain for myself to come out of him, when I cited as the only person on the internet with like chud logic. I don't bring it because what the fuck is even the point, right? Because people are like, oh, so you think that they owe you something now? They think, no, what the fuck? So I can't say anything? Like, I like it. I like to view it the way they do in court, okay? If you're gonna bring up negative character evidence about me, well, fuck you. I should be allowed to bring up positive character evidence to rebut your characterization of me. If you don't want to talk about my character at all, and you just want to focus on the arguments, which they never do with Ethan, then fine, then focus on the arguments. But if you're gonna sit here and impugn my character over and over again, well, of course I'm gonna bring up things that I've done that are nice to people. What the But then if I do it, you say all of a sudden I'm angel making myself? Well, aren't you devil making me by accusing me of being mentally unwell, right? it's unhinged.
Like, you know, we're just meant to support each other online despite
regardless what we say or do,
morals or principles.
But I'll say this, I don't think they're any friends of mine. And certainly I don't think they're any friends of mine based on the text conversation I had with them too before I even talked about it. So I have nothing. Like, I don't need any...
And like, listen to... Oh, it's just so much. It's all of these tactics. Everybody does all of this, right? Remember that, remember before, because they want to live in all the worlds at the same time. Remember before, what did iDubbbz say? iDubbbz said, I didn't even know anything about this. Like, I didn't see any tweets. Like, I didn't really know who was talking to who. I didn't have any information about this. And now it's, well, maybe I didn't want to say anything because these are about my personal morals and these are about my morality. Well, what the f is it then? So then you did actually agree with these things and you didn't want to say anything about it because you do think that he deserves to be called these. Like, just say that then. Own the argument at least. Own whatever the f you want to say. Own it.
Halfway friends, man.
I thought the text conversation that I had with him was very empathetic. I basically just said, like, I and Mila are experiencing a ton of harassment, and I essentially empathize with that, and I think there's something positive to get out of the conversation. But he...
Oh my God. Is he gonna leak those text messages? I had some people say, I've had all sorts of varying responses to all sorts of dramas I've been in, especially my last one. I am so curious what that fucking text message looked like. Hey, I know you're getting a lot of heat right now from people who are crazy, making you, gaslighting you, calling you cartoons, and sharing them of your wife murdering Palestinian children indiscriminately. But I think there's a lot that you could learn here, and I think you really need to take a step back and listen to the criticisms. Like would iDubbbz have accepted that? Hey, maybe the fact that your wife is fucking OnlyFans is a crazy feminazi fuck, maybe that's the reason why you've gone so SJW, iDubbbz. Do you think he would have accepted that type of feedback in the heat of people like Sam Hyde and all these other people making what were truly disgusting attacks on iDubbbz and his character just because of Anissa? Like, do you think he would have been okay with that feedback? Like, it's so fucking insane. It's so stupid. Holy shit.
with that, and I think there's something positive to get out of the conversation.
Oh, God, fuck it so much. Yeah, that's somebody in YouTube chat brings up. That's true. Wasn't part of Ian's last content cops? He didn't want to use it all, even if the criticism was okay. Didn't he say he didn't like it because people were getting harassed because of them, even if that wasn't his intention? But I guess we don't care about that now, huh? Sorry. Oh my God. All right.
Empathize with that, and I think there's something positive to get out of the conversation. But he refused to talk on the phone unless I was willing to publicly say something about my former editor and denims. As much as you...
What were the text messages? I would want to see those messages. I don't trust this guy's characterization at all.
Don't want halfway friends. I also don't want that kind of halfway friend. I don't want someone who's going to give me like an ultimatum to have a conversation.
Could you not say something when this is like, imagine like one of you guys is like, Hassan actually wants to go to Israel, go to Gaza so he can strangle Israeli babies or some shit like that. I'd be like, you imagine me not saying something.
You're trying to make a one-to-one comparison where there isn't one. This guy that I follow on Twitter is not in the same relationship as you and one of your current employees who is streaming with you 3 days a week, 3 hours a day for the past 10 years. At one point during the stream...
Okay, so it has to be the exact... Like, the point still stands. The point is a legitimate point. Does it have to be the exact same type of relationship, I guess, though, to... Okay.
Ethan and Hila bring up Adam McIntyre. Now, Adam does basically the same thing as my former editor. He's critical of Ethan and Hila, and he is sometimes uncharitable and nasty.
Such a crazy fucking woman, oh my God. Hila Klein is a very dangerous and crooked woman. Okay. That's critical, by the way. Criticism usually it would imply some sort of actual substantive criticism. This is just ad homs and making fun of somebody, but okay.
Today, for the past 10 years, at one point during the stream, Ethan and Hila bring up Adam McIntyre. Now, Adam does basically the same thing as my former editor. He's critical of Ethan and Hila, and he is sometimes uncharitable and nasty towards them.
Adam McIntyre needs to just like disappear. That guy is a piece of shit, like, of the lowest order. I never even stood by him when he talked bad about Trisha having a kid and called him, like, the spawn of Satan. He was supposedly on our side. I would never be...
It's so crazy. And you're gonna sit here and tear these people down and amplify all of the ad homs made against them? I'm not even gonna mention the crooked woman. I don't know if that's a Jewish dog whistle or not. But then any times when he says, like, I don't know why this person is, like, going so hard on me. Like, I've literally, you know, I haven't sided with this in the past, or I've been okay with it. Like, that's... You're not even allowed to bring that up? Give me a break.
About Trisha having a kid and called him like the spawn of Satan. He was supposedly on our side. I would never even co-sign that. I was disgusted by that statement too. I remember when he called her kid the spawn of Satan.
I never said anything.
And I was supposed to be like cheering on, but I wasn't gonna cheer that on. That's disgusting.
Why do you forget that he called her children, which is something we would never do, the spawn of Satan?
It's disgusting.
And
a
I
piece
mean,
of shit of a human.
it's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
Unfortunately,
Well, I don't even think that was about Ethan. Wasn't that about the people who decided to speak up and say something? But whatever.
they never made a statement. They never said that they disagreed with his statements about Trisha's baby until it's useful. Like, what is it, 3 years later? Like, I mean, you're talking about it like you were aware of it at the time and that there was some amount of pressure or enthusiasm for you to get down with that. And what it sounds like to me is that you did see it at the time and you were like, ooh, I don't like that. And you didn't endorse it and you didn't fuck with it. Huh, it's almost like that is a fucking identical situation to me.
It's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
Yeah, the reason I'm bringing this up is because they're trying to like paint themselves as the good guys, and they're saying like, yeah, we strongly disavow things that are said, even about our enemies. We are the most immoral people on the internet.
My guess is going to be, and I don't know because I don't follow their stuff, because I just don't watch his history a lot, and I never did in the past. My guess is going to be those things weren't like on the fucking apocalyptic scale as the online Ethan hate, and this was just like a comment made, like as part of their fighting with the Trisha. Although I don't know about the Trisha shit because like I said, I don't know anything about that. But it's possible that maybe they should have said something more here too, maybe. But also, these guys are doing this thing as well, where remember, they're saying things like, oh, well, like, I just didn't say anything. But oftentimes, it's not that these people aren't just saying anything and you know they disagree. It's that they aren't saying anything because they do agree. And I think with iDubbbz, I mean, now we're going to see that's obviously the case. It's not like he wasn't saying anything because he disagreed but he didn't want to get into it. He approved of it because he thinks that side is righteous and they are right to go in on them as hard as possible.
Unlike Ian and Anissa, who are fucking keeping to themselves. Also, why the fuck does Olivia get the pass?
What a fucking asshole for putting you in that position, Olivia. You're friends with him, and you don't have to say anything, but like, what a fucking piece of shit. What a bad friend to put you in that position just for some fucking clout. It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit, okay? Olivia did not do anything, and
I want the pass. Do I have to be an employee to get that treatment? Because then you'll just see me as an ally? Or is it because Ethan is afraid of wrongful termination accusations and lawsuits?
And also, I don't mind putting my friend Olivia, who's apparently my real friend, in a terribly weird, fucking uncomfortable situation where you end up getting hate for no reason.
Also, don't frame
I don't know anything about the Olivia shit at all, so.
it's like other people making it hard on Olivia. You're making it hard on all of these people. Please acknowledge your role in this whole fucking thing. Like, it's crazy how warm Ethan is to Olivia and saying how Olivia is essentially just a victim in this whole thing.
It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit.
But me and Anissa are spineless. Ethan, your whole system is scrambled. My intention isn't to throw the employees under the bus. Like, you guys serve as the fucking foundation for calling out Ethan's hypocrisy on the whole subject. And I know that you guys have probably pushed back against Ethan over the years. How often are you supposed to do that? Do you have to do that every fucking week? It kind of seems like it. And that's exhausting. I don't want to confront my boss. It's not my fucking job to confront my boss and say, today's segment on rapists and pedophiles on Twitch was not like my favorite segment to be a part of.
Yeah, friends like these.
Oh yeah, and our other good friends.
Yeah.
Anissa and Ian. Thanks, Anissa, for standing up for your girl. I actually stood up for you so many times, because like, why would I not? It was crazy.
Yeah, why would you not? I mean, if that's truly what you believed and you weren't just going to use it later.
Of course I was going to stand by you. That's insane. It's absolutely insane and disgusting. But now you choose to hang out with people that would have a problem with you if you defended me.
I'm not going to assume that Hila knows, but I'll say it for anyone who doesn't know. Anissa is half Lebanese and half Irish. For anyone unfamiliar...
Oh my god. Oh my god, bro, are we really playing half Lebanese? What does that even mean? What is the relation there? Give me some lineage. What, she had like a great-great-grandfather who was born in Beirut, who was like a British, like, what do we, oh my god, kill me, bro. Kill me.
The Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide. On the part of the Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa is very well familiar with the propaganda and the shit.
Really? She was alive during the potato famine. She was alive during the, like, are we really, these are the claims to being intimately familiar with genocide that we're going with right now? Hello? Okay, dude. Yeah, what are we breeding? Like super genocide victims? What the fuck is this comparison? How gross. Kill me.
Shit coming out of Israel. Choosing now, out of all the times, to be like, please defend me. No, we're not going to defend you.
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
Do we have that one?
Man,
Like,
just the other day, BB fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
You look neat.
No,
Nice research there, buddy.
a lot of people are pissed about.
Israel warns can send Lebanon back to Stone Age as UN seeks de-escalation. The launch says Israel can inflict massive damage as UN humanitarian chief says war would be potentially apocalyptic. Where is the date for this? Like, you know that there's a, oh, by the way, people that don't actually know anything about history or know anything about anything, really, they always play wacky games with timelines, and they pretend that like something that happened in 1920 can easily be transposed to 1947, or something that was said at the beginning of a war or right before war can be easily transposed to a year or two into the war. It's one of the most anti-intellectual ways to analyze historical events or world affairs. It's so stupid.
Looked mean. I thought he was mean just because he looked mean.
No.
So yes, you caught us. We're not gonna run to your defense when, I don't know, we follow people.
Also, and I'll say this too, this is so stupid. It's such a waste of fucking time. Nobody needs you to defend them ideologically. They're probably just looking for character defenses. I understand all these people are disgusting, spineless hack fucks, but nobody is looking for you to say, hey, I agree with Ethan Klein. He's right about fucking everything. What they would probably be looking for, is just something along the lines of like, wow, Ethan and Hila are saying a lot of stuff right now that I don't necessarily agree with relating to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, but I really wish people wouldn't go so hard on them personally. I think it's a little bit gross that people are going in on them like this, and regardless of whether we agree or disagree on this particular thing, I just don't think it's right that people are making these types of attacks. That's all people are looking for generally. And you know this, because I'm sure you feel the same way about all the Anissa accusations. You should know this intimately. And I guarantee you, without ever having spoken to Ethan in my life, this is how Ethan feels about this. You're probably like, I'm just looking for people like, I agree with Ethan Klein, I agree with all their takes and all different. It's probably just more like, hey, people are being a little bit fucking unhinged.
Well, we be following. That's one up thing that you can say about Anissa and I is when we're on Twitter, we do be following.
So,
The problem?
okay, if you want to hang out with those people and have no spine and not stand up for another girl that stood up for you, enjoy your new friends.
She's friends with people like Denims.
I know,
sent her dad-
yeah.
Which I'll
she's
show.
friends with
Denims
Denim.
is actually participating in this whole child protective service lie.
Yeah,
which I'll
and if
show you
you're
guys
friends
in a
with
bit.
them, then you're seeing what they're saying.
You'll notice that Ethan and Hila start talking about this Denims character. Originally, the complaint was about my former editor. He's been chatting shit about Ethan and Hila for the past year at least. They only care about it now because...
Doesn't this kind of feel like high school drama attitude, though? Yeah, but I mean, like, the largest figure in this side, right, is Hassan Piker, right, who is he approaches these kind of, like, international politics or political disagreements as you would if you were, like, TMZ or doing drama slop content, basically, right? Because Hassan isn't smart enough or educated enough to respond with substance to any of the points that people bring up, so he has to turn all of it into these, like, wacky and crazy ad hominem attacks.
I guess it was spoon-fed to them via their Reddit. It's clearly looking out for them. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, where we are friends with Denims, but I would say it's the same level of friendship that we had with Ethan and Hila. It's like kind of an internet friendship. We think that she's a good person like we think Ethan and Hila are good people. Kind of a tricky situation. How can you possibly think that they're both good people at their core? People can have crash out moments. People can say things that they don't mean. People can say things because they want internet clout and attention. I don't know, I think they're both probably guilty of saying things that they don't mean for internet clout and attention.
Like, it's all the same. It's all the both sides. It's all the everybody makes mistakes, and you know they've both said things that maybe they shouldn't. And LOL, it's always this.
Right now, one's a little bit more fucking nasty to me than the other.
I just don't see how you can be my friend and also be friends with
No.
someone like that.
Well, you can't. So I already forgot about you.
I actually have a lot of friendships that are kind of that way, where it's like, you know, one of the friends doesn't...
Bullshit. There is zero chance. This is a lesson, by the way, that I had to learn somewhat recently, I guess. is that you shouldn't have friends like this. If somebody is able to maintain like a super positive relationship with somebody that is just an unhinged hater of yours, not somebody who disagrees with you, but like that's a level of self-respect that you should have. You should say, I don't want to associate with this person anymore. I'm good on this. I don't need to be friends with this person. I would be shocked if Ian is friends with anybody who says that Anissa, the OnlyFans whore, is the one who changed Ian's mind about everything he looked at. I would be shocked if he was still friends with people like that. I would be shocked if Anissa would be okay with it, and I would be shocked if he would be okay with it. There's a difference. He's again, he's living in both worlds. Like, oh, you know, I'm friends with people who have disagreements. Why can't you be friends with people who have disagreements? We're not talking about simple disagreements. We're talking about unhinged levels of ad homs and personal attacks for months, years at this point.
With the other friend, but there is someone in the middle.
Like, listen, oh, you just don't with the other friend, LOL.
So I already forgot about you.
I actually have a lot of friendships that are kind of that way, where it's like, you know, one of the friends doesn't with the other friend.
Aren't you friends with Myron? He's 10 million times worse than Denims. I'm friendly with Myron, but Myron is literally like one of the only people I've actually met online who will actually, you know, like stand up for somebody and say like, oh, you know, this guy's a friend even if he makes a mistake. I think he actually had a thing. I didn't show it on stream, on his streamer, where he was talking about my related situation. He was like, hey, listen, if a friend ever does something, you talk to him privately. You say, hey, bro, you fucked up. You know, I disagree with this, but I'm not going to come out and like publicly trash you for it because there's no reason to do it. And you know, like when a friend, it's that one quote, right? When a friend makes a mistake, the mistake is a mistake, but the friend remains a friend or whatever. But internet content creators are so clout poisoned and so internet community mindfucked that they're incapable of having this position. It's impossible.
Friend, but there is someone in the middle who kind of fucks with both of them, but separate.
Didn't Myron shit on Melina when you two were married for her Instagram and OnlyFans stuff? Not only was it not Myron, it was one of their employees. And Myron got so upset over that because he wanted me and Melina to come on and wanted to maintain good relationships with us that he made that employee apologize to Melina and me over that incident. So
There's some that way where it's like, you know, one of the friends doesn't fuck with the other friend, but there is someone in the middle who kind of fucks with both of them, but separately. Yeah, there's a lot of friendships that are like that. I'm not
like you say this is. I'm sorry, I can say this a million times. I want to know how many people he's friends with that have shit on Anissa and him for the OnlyFans related stuff. I want to know if that number is more than one. I'm like, or is more than zero. And by the way, nobody would blame you also for not being friends with those people. That would be the most understandable thing in the universe.
I'm not gonna make you guys like meet up and kiss or anything. I get it. You guys are in fucking. You're either my best friend who's deep-throating me to the base of my cock, or you are Satan. You're the devil.
The last thing I said to Anissa when we were texting before I ever talked about it, he's like, I don't care about this guy. He's a nobody, and you know, blah blah blah. And I said, well, then you'll have no problem publicly denouncing it, right? And then from there, the conversation ended.
She never replied.
Ethan, you can't even phrase it in a way that doesn't make you sound like you're being coercive and shitty. Well, then you should have no.
Coercive? Are we really co-opting the language of rape for every single fucking conversation we have now? Coercive? Like what's next? You're out here to non-consensually ask them to disavow somebody? Like, come on, get coercive? What are we talking about here?
Publicly denouncing it, right? Does that sound like a friend? It kind of sounds like something a powerful villain would say.
But it was so funny how she immediately went to comment everywhere, like on our subreddit. She immediately had to comment like, oh, he doesn't work with us anymore.
Then
but that was it. That's all she said.
But then say that you don't.
Okay, do you have
agree.
anything else to say for your friends though?
One of the reasons Anissa was so quick to clarify things in your Reddit is because your Reddit was already talking about who this editor is, and they were spreading misinformation that it was our co-host on our podcast, Uncle Dane. So yeah, the last thing we mentioned that it was.
Du hast den Gefangenenwasser getrunken und bist durch das Labyrinth geschlichen. Du hast einen Drachen verflucht und den Kerker entriegelt. Du hast deine Axt gehoben und den Kelch des Zauberers zerstört, während du den Geschirrspüler eingeräumt hast. Sieh mehr, wenn du hörst. Entdecke die beliebtesten Fantasy-Hörbücher bei Audible.
7 upvotes, 0 upvotes.
was talking about who this editor is, and they were spreading misinformation.
What? Yeah, he is on a podcast with them, but honestly gets no views. The most upvoted comment, no, the other person on the podcast is someone else. Like, it's literally, oh my God, dude.
That it was our co-host on our podcast, Uncle Dane. So yeah, the last thing we wanted is this guy getting pulled into this mess, and you guys don't give a fuck. Would it have been nicer and more supportive to say, we don't agree with the things he's saying and we support Ethan and Hila? Sure. Like, yeah, that would have been a nicer thing to say. Our silence means something. It means that we would like to pause this relationship until you figure your shit out.
Okay, then just say that, because you're contradicting yourself then. So then it never, okay, so then Hila was regardless of what you think about Hila, she was 1,000,000,000% correct. Hila was right then. This isn't about you, you know, disavowing as much as you feel like you comfortably can. It was that you agreed with what the other person was saying. That's what this is about. And that's what you're just saying now, right? He just said it. This is gaslighting. This is fucking... I hate using the psych term, but it is. This is like crazy making gaslighting. Like, you're trying to convince somebody, no, we just, you know, we didn't feel like we needed to make a public statement because that would be inappropriate. But also, it's because we fucking agree with them, and we agree that you need to fucking figure your goddamn shit out because you're fucking crazy, bro. You're crazy.
And then maybe you can find a moment in time, I don't know how long it'll be, but a moment in time in the future where things are a little bit easier to broach. I don't think we need to do it right now, but you've insisted.
And it's so funny too. Oh God, I'm so sorry. This is just the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm sorry. I've been on the receiving end of shit like this for so long, and it's just, it's interesting to see it happening so publicly and so blatantly to somebody else, right? You are now signaling that when creators aren't speaking up and aren't saying anything, it's because they do agree with what's going on, which is basically validating every single thing that Ethan had said earlier and had accused you of. That when you don't say anything, when you don't make these public statements, people just assume that you agree. And it sounds like that is the case. It sounds like that's exactly what you're saying. Yeah, we do agree with them. We're going to wait till we can talk to you later on about it, because right now you're being unhinged about it. You're having mental health moments about it. It's exactly what's happening.
You've insisted that this is an important thing to address. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me on your Instagram story. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me and my wife on your podcast twice. I would be fine with you not brigading my comment section on my podcast that gets 3,000 views a week because I prefer to not do harassment campaigns and instead talk about vampires' kids.
And also, right, just whenever you respond to somebody doing stuff like this, all the CPS, supporting people that do it, wink, wink, nod, nodding to all these communities, you're harassing them. You're going on a harassment campaign. You're doing an organized hate brigade. So when you respond to something, it's harassment and it's hateful. But when they're doing it, it's, you know, who knows? I don't know anything about them. LOL.
Yes.
Like, they say something like he doesn't work for me, and I strongly disagree, and I support Ethan and Hila. The problem is
that she doesn't.
That's the problem.
That's
true. She's right, and Hila was, now with this video out, she's 100% vindicated. Hila was correct. They do support it.
The problem.
She actually.
She thinks they have a point.
Yep.
That's the problem.
Yeah. So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
This is what I'm talking about. This aggression that you're putting out into the world. What the fuck do you think we're gonna do? Do you think I'm gonna fucking sit on my hands when you do this shit?
It was in response to what you were already doing, though. This didn't come from nowhere. Maybe everything in life can be emblemized in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, because it's the same thing with the Israel-Palestine shit as well, right? Where when you're talking about the Jews, they have no reason to be mean to Palestinians. There's always some explainer for how the Jewish people are evil, and there's no reason why you should kill them. But then when it comes to the Palestinians, well, there's a reason why they rape on October 7th, okay? And it's, you know, it's a resistance, and it's not perfect, and it's because of, you know, when Israel did this and that, and they, of course, you know, it might not be the best, but like they, you know, there's a lot of stuff they're dealing with. It's like, okay, so they have an infinite leeway to do whatever the fuck they want, but then when the other side responds, now you're going to be endlessly critical that they didn't respond in what you would consider to be the perfect way, and you're going to pretend like it's not even a response. You're going to pretend like it's unprovoked harassment.
Like, this is nasty. We had such a fair response to what you guys were going through. We don't support harassment. It's a bad thing, but it happens, and you're perpetuating it.
Fucking propagandist, lying scumbag, terrorist supporter. He probably sets up a mirror and jerks off watching himself.
Dan KKK Clancy has a similar view of Hitler. Because Dan Clancy, the Nazi, fucking anti-Semite.
You can't expect other people to stop harassing you if you continue to harass people.
But all of these things, and again, you can agree or disagree on I guess maybe the terminology that he's using here. Dan Clancy is not a person that Ethan Klein just decided to out of nowhere begin harassing because of, you know, whatever. All of these are paired with insanely substantive critiques of the unhinged amount of weirdly anti-Semitic shit that's for some reason allowed on Twitch. It's not a random thing. Now, again, if you're gonna try to pretend like the criticism is people are just mean to us and don't let people be mean to us, then this criticism of Ethan is fair. But I don't think it's just that people are mean, it's that people get unhinged in a personal way and they don't even respond. They don't even respond to any of the actual points. It's just drama slop. It's just unhinged personal attacks constantly.
Let's think about it on a micro level. Have you ever been in a comment section and found someone to argue with? It doesn't stop.
Wait, what is this?
Ethan's upset with.
This was a month ago?
I think some of our connections, and you know, we've tried to reach out to Ethan to talk privately. Basically, it just seems like we're at a bit of an impasse. So we want to stay out of the drama as much as possible. We don't want to pile on and add to anything. So this is our, you know, lukewarm addressing of it. It's, you know, we're always open to talk, privately especially, and yeah, we'll you know, the door's always open.
Yeah, the door's always open. I want to like really drive it home. We don't condone harassment of any kind.
Condone harassment of any kind.
She doesn't include what Ethan does?
Any kind, okay, period, which is why we have not stuck our foot in any of this, because it is not productive. I don't think it's helpful, and these are real people who have real feelings.
Oh, so how long did he work on this content cop for? Aren't these usually months in the making? So you're telling me that he said this at the exact same time he was working on a content cop, or did he just decide to a week or two later? And then what, did we change minds then? Did we say, you know what, actually, maybe some harassment is good. Maybe Ethan does need to be harassed a little bit. What changed from this to then, or from then to now?
It can literally go on forever if you don't want to touch grass.
I mean, yeah, this was kind of like a line, what happened today, that should never be crossed, even by like the most cynical, toxic people. It's going to have ramifications in terms of how I conduct myself. In terms of these fair weather friends who are, you know, so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something out of it.
Ethan, that is a rich thing to say. Like, you're the H3 podcast, okay? There's a lot of friends of the show. There's even more fair weather friends of the show. Let's not get into this shit, okay? That is so bizarre and insulting to suggest that I was only ever being friends with you to get something out of it. No, I'm friendly with you, and I'd say I'm a light friend because it's been pleasant hanging out with you. I've enjoyed your content over the years, and as of late, it's gotten really fucking shitty.
So he's not friends with them? Or, because earlier he was like, you know, I'm just friends insofar as like, you know, we've chatted online. The same way I'm friends with denims is what he said. So, are they not really friends at all then? Or what? Because at one point, didn't Ethan literally guest star in fucking iDubbbz content? Ethan is literally in the background of this fucking video. I guess they're just like acquaintances though. I don't know, maybe he was just like, oh, let's just reach out to random people. Like, I mean, come on, like what do you, if you want to say you're not his friend or you don't give a fuck about him, then just say that. Just say, I'm not gonna say shit because I don't even like you. Just say that. Why not just say that? Be open and honest about it. Just say that. I don't give a fuck.
Like, and as of late, it's gotten really fucking
They collab together
shitty.
a lot? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so go fuck yourself.
I was never like an iDubbbz or
I agree.
Who else? Who else do we want to burn today?
Who else do we want to burn today? You're making it so fucking obvious that this is your emotional dumping ground. It's
what? What is this weird, like, kind of... It's this weird feminist quasi-red pill co-opting of emotions and therapy, where, like, these weird, like, cringe wokies will do this thing where they're like, oh, you're just being emotional about this, or, oh, you just need to go to therapy or something. It's like, what the f are you talking about? Does he not... Maybe he is upset about this. Does he not have a right to be? Do you not have a right to be upset about how you feel like, you know, your friends are kind of backstabbing you or aren't being, you know, as loyal or supportive as you'd expect them to be, considering how, you know, much you feel like you've been respectful of them in the past? Is that not a fair thing to feel?
It's horrible. This is not what podcasts are.
And who are you to say that? This isn't what podcasts are. What are podcasts, bro? What a weird fucking gatekeepy statement to a guy that doesn't even have a real podcast. What are we talking about? What?
Emotional dumping ground. It's horrible. This is not what podcasts are.
Thanks for
the lesson. There was a way to approach this to say, like, yeah, we feel hurt by you guys not saying something. You've decided to do the extra thing and attack. Now, in fairness, I am attacking back, but I feel very insulted and I feel defensive. And
oh, wait. So he is... Okay, this is the Palestine-Israel thing. This is what the example I just brought up. Their reactions are always justifiable, and there's always a good reason why they're reacting. The other person is just acting spontaneously. I have no clue why the other person is engaging in the behavior they're engaging, but I can give you a really good reason why I'm engaging in the exact same behavior.
And attack. Now, in fairness, I am attacking back, but I feel very insulted, and I feel defensive, and I feel like I am speaking up for a lot of people who have problems with you, and a lot of people who have been on the receiving end of your harassment.
It's so easy to be anti-racist. Everybody's anti-racist. Racism is the worst thing in the world, right? We fucking hate races. Fuck races.
Microaggressions.
The minute that they actually have to stick their neck out for somebody, the minute they have to actually risk something to put themselves in under scrutiny, to sacrifice something personally to stand up for racism, then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I don't want to get involved.
And that's drama.
How much do you care?
I don't
how
do
much
drama.
True.
How much do you actually care?
That's what they said exactly. That is exactly... Why would he even play this